Right, Mr. Josh, welcome back.
Hello, how you doing?
All good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, mate. Doing all good, all good. Still hanging in there.
That's it. So, I only felt right on the verge of a new season to bring back. I mean, you've been involved in every season but this one, so
Yeah, I
it'd be
know.
good.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I mean, those that are watching, Josh hasn't been able to participate this year, basically off grounds that you just don't have the newer console, isn't it? You were well up
yeah,
for being involved, but you've just not had the chance to be involved this year, which is a shame. But
yeah. I'm gutted, to be fair. I really enjoy the buzz of the league and how it's all run, and I do miss it. But sadly, it gives other people a chance to win the league because obviously I was going to win it. But yeah,
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to take part in a different role. And yeah, see where it goes, and hopefully it's a good one.
Absolutely. So, speaking of the league, this is our current league at the moment, and we've got a brand new system, but this is our brand new league. What do you make of this? I mean, a sense of nostalgia here,
Oh,
really, with the sense that we've got almost absolutely everybody who is in the default league anyway.
yeah, it's in too fair, a decent lineup. Obviously, you've changed your team to Brentford, which should be
Absolutely.
interesting. Um, and also, obviously, it's nice to have Matt back involved by Munich.
Exactly. I mean, Matt hasn't been
Jordan as
involved
well.
in
Jordan and
years. I
James.
mean, the last time I dare say even on stat that Matt was involved last time in the league would have been around the same time that maybe James and Jordan were as well, because Matt
Yeah,
has been out of it for a very long time. Likewise have the other two. So we've got some welcome backs to the league, but a sense of
yeah,
nostalgia I feel with this league.
yeah. I think it's a decent lineup. There's obviously 8 teams in this league, and I think it's decent. Like it's very strong, very competitive. Obviously, Jake in there with Everton, he's always a one to watch, I think. But it'd be interesting how Oliver does with Man United this time. Obviously, different FIFA and different ways of using this system. Should be interesting to see how he plays. But yeah, it's nice to see. I think well, everyone's really pretty strong in that league. Obviously, Gavin in there with Colin as well. Yeah, it should be interesting how Colin does this season ahead. Obviously, new FIFA, new ways of playing. Is he going to be still attacking, or is he going to think maybe I don't have to play that much attacking now? But see how it goes, I think.
Absolutely. And I think just reviewing this league as well, I mean, as you'll know, from the standard of what we would do, I've made some massive changes to the league's layout and format this season. I thought we'd give everyone
Yeah,
a chance to put everybody into a pool. We had about 20 people interested in the league this year. And originally, it was going to be one massive league. But then I thought, reflecting on previous seasons, we actually haven't competed in a league. And I genuinely believe the reason for that is a lot of people floating around the middle were just losing the interest for it because they couldn't win
yeah,
and they couldn't lose. There was no massive desire to play. While as I think keeping
yeah,
it constrained like this, I feel like it's very open. As you'll know, FIFA 18 much more tactical than FC 25, and the
yeah,
players that were really tactical, very tactically switched on, had the advantage over other players, which made it quite clear cut for some better players. Well, as I think it's a little bit more open this season because a lot of players
yeah,
new to FC 25 and new to new FIFA. And with
yeah,
having 8 players that are all very good, very established players, all in one pool, all competing against each other, I think the race for promotion and relegation would be an awful lot
interesting.
tighter. And I think
Yes,
what we've done is we've implemented a lot of reward in this system. Obviously,
yeah,
people will be wanting to finish first, which is the natural desire for first. We've also got a separate cup competition, which will be taking place over the summer, which means the top 5 of our default league, 1 to 5, and also the top 5 of the league below us will all be put into a cup pool to compete over a summer, which means if you're top 5, you will qualify. Obviously, and as you
yeah,
see here as well, bottom 2 will get relegated. And the reasoning for this is we will have 2 promoted from the season below, or sorry, from the league below. They will come up. We'll have a
yeah,
rotation, and I think a rotation of players all of the time is just going to make this default league much more interesting. People are going to be up and down
yeah,
all the time, I think, and it'd
yeah,
be interesting to see how many people are actually going to stay at the top.
yeah,
And I think with it being FC 25 being so open, players will be get relegated. We'll have new players coming up through the ranks. And also with the relegation system of the league below us now, if you get relegated from the league below us now, then you fall into basically the scouting pool. I mean, there's 2 players on standby all the time. We've got 8 players in our main league, 10 players in our second league, and 2 players on standby all the time, which means if you get relegated, it means you sit out for a season. So we've got a proper
Yeah,
promotion and relegation thingy this. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it, whether you think this is a positive change and whether this is going to probably spark a little bit more interest in the league.
I think. Well, I think it'll make it more interesting. Of course, I think it'll be more competitive this year. Obviously, I don't know much about the second league at the minute, but obviously there's really good teams in this league. It'll make it tough. There's a lot of good teams in there. No offense to you and probably Jake, probably slightly weaker squads, but
Yeah,
I think you can still compete to a decent level. But I think it'll just make it more competitive, and obviously it'll make it more fun to watch, more entertaining, more to talk about. And yeah, I think it'll be really good going forwards, especially with the cup competition. Gives some like bit of silverware, so you can still get recognised in a different way other than just the league, which that will make it more competitive in that aspect as well. But yeah, I think it'll be really good going forwards to have this competition go ahead, and yeah, looking forward to see how everyone gets on.
absolutely. And I think the only downside for me is obviously having a separate league. I mean, the focus is largely going to be on our main league here. It's going to be, very hard to put as much focus onto the other league. And we'll be keeping track of results and be talking about their results and things like that going forwards. But in terms of match coverage and highlights and stuff like that, there's too much pressure on, say, myself. I mean, I process it all. So the main league will be my main focus. And I think it would really, I don't know, really do people good as well to go up and down in the league. If they get promoted, then they obviously get the coverage they deserve for getting promoted. It's all going to be
Yeah.
a really interesting season. And I'd like to ask you as well who you think, I mean, out of the 8 here in the main league, who is your biggest kind of like keep an eye on, or who's your player to watch this season?
Oh, it's interesting. I don't know. Like they're all so anyone could do anything really.
Yeah,
One team I like to look. I don't know. Obviously, you would Brentford be interesting. Slightly
yeah,
underdog team, but obviously still decent enough to do well. I think Gavin will be interesting.
yeah,
With Newcastle squad now, it's really much improved than what I had on 18. Um, Still not the best squad, but a lot better than what it was. So it would be interesting to be any better with that team. Obviously, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, obviously Colin, Jordan, James, they're all going to be top teams.
yeah,
A little underdog team in a weird way, but I think will be interesting to see how it gets on. Will be Ollie with Man
yeah,
United.
yeah,
Obviously, a very good team. Obviously, I haven't really seen much of him on 25 compared to the old FIFA, but I think obviously he'll have to change a couple of things.
yeah,
Um, no offense to Matt, I think it'll be quite hard for him because he's not the best of players, but he's got a really good team. So if that would help him with a solid team, he might end up staying up by just a couple of points.
yeah,
But obviously Jake, I think, is a really solid, like a solid player. He knows he's very resolute and he's quite compact with his teams in the past. So I think he'll be quite hard to break down. Can I see him challenging at the top? I can probably not say that, but I think he'll be up. I think he'll be definitely staying in the league for next season. And
absolutely.
yeah, like anyone in this league can do anything, but that's my thoughts on it. But I think Colin, with his attacking style in Liverpool, could be interesting. I think he could be really strong this season coming ahead.
And do you think, I mean,
But
if you were to pick one player, I mean, out of everyone that's competing at the moment, I mean, who could you see winning the title this season?
oh God, there's two or three teams in there. I don't know. I like to say I think it's so tough. I think Colin will have to be up there.
Yeah.
Um, I would put you in there for Brentford. And I don't know why. I'm going to put it's either going to be Gavin, James, or Jordan.
I like it. I
Those
like it.
those three. I think the top two will be. I think Colin and you might have a. The top three could be any of those 5 or 6 players. It's that tough.
Yeah,
I think Jordan and James have got decent squads. That's what they might do better with you at, but it's all about winning. Depending on how you
absolutely.
win, it doesn't really matter about the squads. It's 11 players against 11, and obviously the football does the talking. So who knows what will happen?
Absolutely. And if there were, I mean, as you know, there's 2 relegation slots, 8 teams. Who can you see going down this season?
Oh God, I don't want to see anyone go down because it's such a tough league, and I like to see everyone play each other every week because it's such a good league.
Yeah.
Um, I think Matt might be in that category for possibly going down.
Hmm.
I think I don't think Jake will be in the relegation, but he could be flirting with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Depending on how he plays, really, because I think he's a really good player. He's really
Yeah.
strong. It's really hard to get like breakdown unless you're really on it. I don't know. It should be interesting. I think Matt. I think Jake will be all right. Maybe Gavin. I know it sounds weird, but he could be a player that could finish really high, but could finish close to the bottom.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think United. I think Ollie be okay.
Yeah.
But he could fall into that category as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but it's so close to the core. I can't really put anyone. Anyone could finish anywhere. I
Yeah.
don't want to put people and then say, I think you're wrong for doing that. But that's my thoughts on it. I think anyone could finish anywhere, but these teams are so good.
I mean, that's the
So
thing. And
it'd be
these teams this year, I mean, it's almost a sense of nostalgia. And to be fair as well, I mean, I was amazed because, I mean, going on to the next slide, the teams were drawn completely fairly. You know, these are a couple of shots that I took from where I was on with Matt and I drew them live with Matt being present at the time. And we just ended up with a very nostalgic league. I mean, looking at this, I mean, we have a full league of basically people that have already been involved in the main league, and I think it makes it interesting because this is as probably as competitive as it's going to get, and then we're just going to see all these rising new players come up into the main league after getting promoted from the league that they're in, which I think makes it very interesting.
Yes, it would. Yeah, it's like the Premier League and the Championship. Anyone can go up and anyone can go down, and they all want to compete to a decent level and they want to win games of football. But obviously, it's not easier. It's easier said than done, and it'll be. I'm looking forward to it. I think the promotion spots in the bottom league would be interesting to see how they get on, to see how competitive they are to get into this league, into the
Absolutely.
Premier League in a weird way.
Um,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
So as of this time, I mean, you know, this will come to a bit of a surprise, I think. Um, our first game has been played of match week 1, and
Mm-hmm.
Colin played up against Jordan in a massive match last night, and the results
Yeah.
are in. With Colin losing that game 4-1, does this come as a surprise to you?
Uh, yes, in a weird way, but no, because it's first game of the season. Colin might have not played much FIFA 20, FC 25.
Yeah.
Arsenal, strong team. They're a very strong team. And Jordan might have been playing for a lot longer than Colin. Um, it is a surprise that it was that flattering, to be fair, for the scoreline. I thought maybe by the odd goal, like 1 or 2 goals, but
Yeah.
to lose 4-1 and you're at home as well, it's not the best start for the season for Colin. Maybe that could be a wake up call. What he has to do going forward with his way of playing. Is he too attacking, or does he need to sharpen up in the defence? Or he might say, "I was unlucky. I'll stick to my principles and carry on." But it's a great result for Jordan to start the league.
Absolutely. And I think it
It's a
really
great, it's a great
highlights more
start.
than anything that this league is just going to be so competitive. I mean, to me, on paper,
So
Colin would have been
open.
the favourite to win this, you know, so especially if it was
Yeah,
18. I mean, the last time they matched up, Colin beat Jordan 6-2. And all of a
yeah,
sudden, we're dropping back on the first game of the season 4-1, which I think is just goes to show how interesting this league is going to be and what a change of the times it is. With,
Yeah,
I mean, almost a parallel from 18, where we had pretty much the same league going in on the first ever season we had. Where Colin, I mean, he dominated the game, probably could have honestly scored a couple more goals. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
in a moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow us to watch the highlights together, so you can
yeah,
review this with us, and we can maybe do a little bit of a breakdown. Um,
yeah.
but what a performance! Let's get to the highlights now, shall we? Let's get your ops on the highlights and see what you think.
Hmm.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, I can see.
Amazing.
Premier League action for you today. It's Liverpool versus Arsenal.
Thanks, Guy. Well, I can't wait for this one. Both sets of fans are certainly up for it. I'm sure that will give the players a...
What a chance.
Oh, it's a great save there.
Diaz. Havertz. Saka.
Oh, what a finish.
Fantastic goal.
It's a fantastic goal for Saka. Excellent footwork, and he's just rifled it into the top left corner.
And it's great passing. To me, I mean, the defending is questionable.
But when you got good players like Saka, you got to defend against it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, what a fantastic goal that was. Another good save to deny, I think, Carlson, isn't it?
Great save.
Odegaard. White. Saka.
Wow.
This could be.
Bloody hell.
I mean,
Wow.
that one again, just, I mean, we're 16 minutes in, 17 minutes in, and 2-0 down.
Yeah.
And I mean,
yeah, it's not the best starts for Colin.
I thought the defence on the first one was a little bit shaky, but I mean, that was
Van
another
Dijk
level.
got bullied there, to be fair. He got out fought there by Saka.
Absolutely.
I don't think that was the best of goals to concede, especially being in 1v1 with Van Dijk. You think Van Dijk would win that battle? Oh, a bit of a snapshot there from Nunes.
Well worth a shot.
Oh, bad touch that from Salah. The passing from Jordan's been really crisp. Really good passing. Oh, good save from Alisson. Oh, no. Oh, my God. What's going on here? Oh, what a pass. Oh, luckily with the offside he was. Just off. Good pace that. Oh, that's a great goal. Just ran in through the defence there for us, from Arsenal. And,
I mean, to me, there should have been a great movement as well, just to get back into the game.
Yeah, 2-1. Obviously, switches the momentum to your side. Being at home as well always helps. But yeah, good goal that from Liverpool. They needed that.
Liverpool have it back now.
Interception. Oh no! Oh! Okay.
Really good stop. Now there could be a chance to counter.
Oh, good. Oh, that's a great finish from Trossard. A little bit scrappy there from Havertz, but he played well there to get the team forward. Obviously, he's got the ball to Trossard in the end and good to finish in the top corner.
Yeah, it's a great goal.
got to get past Allison and Van Dijk is a good goal.
Saka. Good pass.
Oh, nice flick.
Saka. It might still happen.
Another good save from Allison.
Picked out nicely.
See them getting back into it. They've been far too open at the back, conceding chance after chance.
He should have released the ball there a bit earlier, but he still got the ball.
Diaz. And this could be.
Oh, what a save from there.
Talk away here. Odegaard.
That could have been a big goal.
In here. And that's been taken by
Another
the
good save from Allison.
Terrific work. They found a way through.
Oh,
As he completes his hat-trick. A superb performance.
Alexander-Arnold got open there.
And it's so impressive how quickly they
Made a great ball.
Was it
Perfectly weighted.
Trossard again?
Yeah, and that's a
Trossard
Trossard
again.
hat trick.
Trossard got his hat trick. Yeah,
Done its job to stop any trouble brewing.
but yeah,
And it's
all the goals are
over.
fantastic, to be fair.
Fans able to
Yeah.
celebrate the win.
I mean, what an opening game.
Well, it was a very
Yeah,
short
I think-
performance, wasn't it? Particularly
I
impressed
think
with their play
by
going
seeing that
forward. They were really lively.
they were definitely the better team.
At times,
Yeah.
the result never
Yeah, I don't know. I think if Colin scored one or two more goals, it would have been interesting in 3-2.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
what a performance. I mean, it was very, very equal, I thought, very open.
yes.
Do you feel like that game could have gone another way? I mean, Liverpool took more shots in the end, only by 2. And
Yeah.
surprisingly, the most surprising stat to me was when I reviewed it after the game. And I don't have the photo, but I don't think either team actually put a shot wide that game. Absolutely
Wow.
so with Arsenal, every shot they took was on target. And Liverpool took every shot, so 12 shots. The only 3 that weren't on target were blocked shots, but not one shot off target from either team. I mean, that's incredible, isn't
That's
it?
incredible, that is incredible. It just shows that the quality in this league is so good.
Yeah.
Obviously, the scoreline for Colin's not very good, but obviously he got into very good positions and had a few shots. But obviously, you got to beat top goalkeepers. Raya and Allison are 2 good goalkeepers, and if you obviously switch off for 1 minute and get behind the defence, obviously all you got is that goalkeeper to rely on. And I think Raya did that well. He made a couple of good saves, but even Allison made a couple of good saves in the first half.
Yeah.
And it could have got a lot worse before it got better for Colin. I thought it could have been a little bit more one-sided in the first half, but obviously it was 2-1. I think half time, so obviously it was still close. But
Yeah.
I think it was a really good game.
Yeah.
To start with.
And I mean, to be fair as well, I mean, so open. I mean, the thing is I think the game could have been, I don't know if it could have gone either way, 'cause I think Arsenal probably dominated a good part of the game and were certainly more clinical in their chances, probably looked a little bit sharper in their passing. Liverpool,
Yes,
they did
absolutely.
create chances, and in all honesty, they took quite big chances, a couple of, amazing saves from David Raya, but I mean, didn't quite put any of them away. I feel like if there was a chapter of reflection for Colin, it would be not too clinical going forwards and a little bit shaky at the back. It looked.
Yeah, 100%. I think Arsenal were much sharper, and you could tell that Jordan, I think, has played this game for a little while, so I think he's really up for the match. I think he looked a bit shaky, like you said. Obviously, he's just still getting used to maybe the new FIFA. That would take a little bit of time. I thought there was 1 or 2 players sort of let down Colin in a weird way. But, I think if Colin was a little bit more sharper and a bit more refreshed, I think he would have given Jordan a really good game. Obviously, because Colin's always been known to be such a good attacking player. But I think Jordan was really on it from minute 1, and he probably deserved it more.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like going forwards, Arsenal were really good to watch there. And obviously Saka had a great game. Obviously Trossard got the hat trick, and Rice in midfield there, nice good passes, interchange with the front three. But yeah, I think it was a really good game for obviously Jordan to win so early on, get a really tough game out of the way, with like a tough opponent. But obviously one side was a little bit off colour today or last night, and I think Jordan probably deserved it more. Definitely deserved it more than Colin.
Absolutely, and I think it's disappointing from a Colin point of view, where I think tactically he was quite well put together in FIFA 18, and kind of, I mean, one of the more interesting talking points for the tactics, where he played three forwards with a cam sat into almost like a fourth forward, just sat in behind,
Yeah,
and I think it
yeah,
created a lot of problems. But I mean, Patton, I mean, is still he's created a lot of chances. I mean, he created two more chances than Arsenal. Perhaps didn't dominate the game as much as what he had done previously, but going forwards, he's creating the chances. I mean, that's the callback to FIFA
yeah.
18. But I mean, I
Hmm.
remember speaking to you on a couple of occasions privately about his play style on 18, and I mean, even when you had played him, if he had created some chances, I mean, he was much more clinical, put some goals away. But you always felt he was quite exposed on the defence sometimes, and I mean, your goals and your games were classic, really. I mean, as much as he tend to put a few more goals behind Leicester's, or through Leicester's net, you always scored against Colin. I don't think he ever kept a clean
Yeah,
sheet, did he?
yeah. I think this is what it comes with, like the system. Like, obviously, he can play what he wants, but I feel like when you're like, for me as a team with Leicester back in 18, I was more of a counter attacking team. But obviously, when you commit so many men forwards, there's a hole in midfield, and like if you get past the midfield, you're pretty much there's holes to go through, and I think with Colin going forwards, maybe look a bit more balanced, maybe a bit more, try and maybe dominate the game more, like in possession, and try and look after the ball well. Gives
Absolutely.
more gives more time for better decisions and good passes. But obviously, his way of playing is really attacking and going forwards. If he wants to do that, he can stick to it. He'll score low. He'll create so many more chances, but obviously defensively he will be a little bit more unstable because there is not much midfield there. If he's pushing an attacking mid, pretty much as a second striker, really. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, it would be interesting to see how Colin does going forwards with that. Um, it's down to him to do that, but he will create many chances. And guess what? When you create chances, you score goals. So who knows what will happen in the next few games? And nothing, not taking credit away from Jordan. I thought he played really well, but I think Colin could definitely sharpen up over the next few games.
Absolutely. And I think what really gave Jordan the edge this game was perhaps his tactical analysis. I mean, when we looked at the first half performance from Colin, possession wise, he actually dominated the first half, but was still 2-0
Mm-hmm.
down to his defensive mistakes. And I think
Yeah, yeah.
when you looked at Jordan in the second half, Jordan very much dominated the second half. And what he
Mm-hmm.
did at half time very clearly was drop two players, specifically his wingers in Saka and Trossard, into midfield almost a little bit to create a little bit more of a thicker midfield. I think he was
Mm-hmm.
losing out a little bit too much in the first half by playing too high up, playing his
Yeah,
3-3, 4-3-3 formation. He dropped them
yeah,
almost into a 4-5-1 in the second half just to hold on to the possession a little bit more and play a little bit more tiki-taka around the pitch and really
yeah,
capitalize on getting balls forward. And it wasn't until really the final kind of third of the game that he then transitioned back into an attacking formation and started utilizing Trossard, bursting down the wing and getting the double. Obviously, he was,
yeah,
I mean, fantastic scoreline, but I just think as a concerning point for Colin, the defending was poor. He didn't make any
yeah.
tactical changes. I mean, he made some substitutions, but didn't make any tactical changes in the sense of his formation. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, when he got
Yeah,
overpopulated in midfield, there was no change. And I think,
yeah.
I mean, as much as he defended poorly, I mean, and that was one massive factor as to why he lost this game. I also think just a lack of tactical sharpness today.
Yeah, I think Jordan did a good move there. Obviously, try and dominate the midfield a bit more, dropping the two wingers in just to help sort of solidify like the team. and obviously he dominated the ball a lot more second half. I think, and when you've got more numbers in those areas, the midfield is so important to look after the ball and to get things going and to keep the obviously defence really stable. I think Colin looked a bit two-sided, in like he was really good going forwards, but not so good very defensively. I think he defended well at times, but obviously you don't want your goalkeeper getting peppered by shots. The more obviously shots on goal, the more chances it's going to go in. So if you can cut those sort of areas out, then going forwards, it will be interesting. Well, obviously he dominated the first half, but obviously that was because of Jordan playing attacking, and obviously it was two attacking teams going at it. But I think Jordan second half really sort of obviously got put a foot on the floor and sort of said, "This is what I'm going to do. It's my game. It's here for the taking. I'm going to do it." And obviously he did second half, and fair play to Jordan to identify his weakness and sort of see the weakness in Colin, and obviously he took advantage of it.
Absolutely, and I think to be fair, the scoreline was a fair scoreline. I mean, the only thing you could have said is maybe with the chances Colin created, he could have had one or two more goals. But I think Jordan winning that game certainly made more sense, but not entirely in the views of Colin, which Colin said, and I quote, "I think the game was okay. I don't think the scoreline was an honest reflection of the game. It could have been very different, especially without the lag." I mean, what do you make of the statement? The game could have been very different, absolutely. But, I mean, to
Yeah,
pinpoint it down to lag, I'm not sure was 100% the reason. Maybe a contributing factor towards the end of the game. We could see evident pieces of lag when and editing the footage. But I mean, not talking the last 10 minutes of the game rather, but the whole game, I mean, had been pretty much won anyway by Jordan.
yeah.
But I don't know. What do you make of that?
Well, it's always a hard, but like obviously I've had an issue with it in the past. But yeah, I think it's such a. I think if you have lag, you got to make the most of it. You got to take your chance and got to be more switched on and try and get a foothold in the game early on and sort of stamp your authority. And obviously, it's not easier said than done. But I think it could have helped if it was more like free flowing, more like not stop start. It probably helps Jordan. He was more tactically aware in that way. But I think I don't know. It's one of those things where it'll have to be looked at. But I think if you knew there was going to be lag, maybe would have switched. You have to adapt to it, and to be a good team, you have to adapt. And I think going forwards, if you want to be a good team, you'll have to adapt. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping that hopefully there's not much more lag issues in the future. I hope it's just every now and again it will pop up. But I'm hoping that the games will be all smooth, all run smoothly, good games, and I hope the lag doesn't take sort of the fun out of it, the competitiveness out of it. Hopefully it would just be I could have done better there. I should have done that before this happened, and I should have took my chances. Hopefully,
Absolutely.
lag doesn't bite. Hopefully, lag doesn't bite the bullet on some people.
I mean, you'll be familiar more than anybody with lag, but I think lag in FIFA, I mean, the servers, I mean, as you know, I mean, affects both players. I mean, going forwards,
Yeah,
defending. And I think, to be fair, in this game, I don't think the lag was a massive issue. I think, after reviewing the footage, you can see spikes of lag possibly after minute 80, but up until about minute 80, it was okay. It was running smoothly.
yeah,
I feel like lag is something we're never going to fully eliminate from the game. I don't think it
hmm
would be fair to conclude that this result was just because of the lag, because I think Jordan
no,
dominated
it
the game
wasn't.
up until minute 80 anyway. And I think
Yeah,
when it started lagging, he still managed to score a goal while it was lagging anyway. Sure, it
yeah,
could have affected Collins' defending, but I'm not entirely sold that it's the entire problem. I don't think it's
no,
anything that's ever going to be properly fixed. But, I mean, it was an
yeah,
excellent opening game, nonetheless. So this week's fixtures
yeah,
then, one's been settled 4-1 with Jordan and Colin, and now we have Jake up against Matt, Gavin up against James, and Harry up against Oliver. with tonight's fixtures being Harry and Oliver and Jake and Matt. I mean, predictions, outcomes. What are you thinking?
This is gonna be a great fixtures tonight. Obviously, you, Brentford, and Oliver, Man United. That could be an interesting one.
That's fantastic.
I'd probably edge Oliver just for a squad.
Yeah.
But if you're tactically aware and you know how to dominate games, even with lag or without lag, then it's up for anyone. I think going back to the last point with lag, I think lag actually helps at times to slow the game down. And I think you've got to adapt to that. And I think whatever happens with things going forwards, I think you got to manage that. And I think obviously the 2 fixtures tonight, I hope they could run smoothly. But wow, anything can happen tonight. I think the really good game will be Jake and Matt. I think that'll be a really good game.
Yeah.
Could go either way. There could be goals in that game, could be goals, but I think the 1 goal will settle it. And probably the same with you, but with your game, I don't know. I can't really put a finger on the game. I think they'll be really close. I'm not going to do any predictions because they're so tight. Oh, there you go. Wow. I'm going to go 3-2 to Jake for his game with Matt.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's Bayern Munich have got some good players. I think Harry Kane's in there. So, and obviously, such a squad, such a good team on paper. That might help Matt for getting some goals. But obviously, defensively, I'm not sure about him. I think, I bet it'll be really close. But I think I'll just edge it 3-2 to Jake for that one.
Yeah.
But going on to your game, obviously United at home. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a close game. Maybe 2. It's going to go 2-1 either way.
Yeah, 2-1. Nice.
I think you'll be good defensively, and obviously going forwards, it'll be interesting to see how you get on with a slightly weaker team. But just an all-round team, really. Obviously, you've got some good team. They've got some good players in there. 1 or 2 good players, but obviously every team's got that. So hopefully, I just want it to be a good game, and obviously when we watch it back, it'd be amazing to see how everyone gets on.
So I also wanted to make a talking point of at least 1 player from each of the squads. And I mean, Ollie for me was a big talking point because, as we know, I mean, from FIFA 18, he was very fond of the 5-4-1 formation. But this was the 5-4-1 on formation, and after reviewing EA Stat app, his average player position in the last season he played was this. Does this come to a surprise to you, or is this just the kind of thing that Ollie does?
I think I honestly rate it a lot. Obviously, it's really hard to play against. With such a low block. Obviously, no one's getting through that. If he plays that against you, you could have a really tough game. But that's how some football is played. If you're playing against really good teams, and if you're able to counter attack with that team, that formation, obviously that could be defensively in that formation. But if you can open up, with a counter attack, and I don't know, it'd be interesting to see how he gets on if he does play that formation, because you can't, no one's in their half in defensive sort of or just a balanced sort of layout. Everyone's in their own half. It's so hard to sort of get forwards, but obviously you're going to be so strong defensively. So I think depending on what team, he might be one of those players that adapts to different players. He might be really good at sort of punishing people after defending his box for 80 minutes and get the 1 goal and look after it and sort of sit on it. Or he could be one of those players that could really sort of switch it up and make it more interesting to see how he plays. Makes it more unpredictable. But obviously, there's not much consistency, and obviously to be a good team, you've got to be consistent. But if you're consistently making good decisions in matches that could define matches, then there you go. You don't have to sort of rely on being sort of sticking to one principle.
No, exactly. And I think, I mean, a big question would be, I mean, this has always been his default kind of thing. I mean, he'd go for a 5-4-1, but his adaptation of the 5-4-1, basically the heat map of the pitch is exactly as we're seeing here. With that
Mm-hmm.
left mid, that player playing in left mid at the top there, being Pogba a lot of the time trying to attack. But as we know, different Man United squad, very different game, and an FC25 compared to FIFA 18 probably tactically doesn't feel as dependent. So do we see
Mm-hmm.
Ollie play the same formation in FC25?
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to see tonight.
Mm,
I really think tonight will be interesting to see how he does start.
yeah,
He's a strong team. He's a strong player to play against. If I was coming up against that team, you've got to get some big physical presence in your team. Like
yeah,
that's the whole team. You're not going to do well with really unless you're playing counter attack and get some quick wingers on and strikers and able to pick that killer pass late on in games. But if you're playing against a low block, you got to be physical. You got to fight. You got to win headers. You got to do everything. You got to be tactically strong going forwards in that low block. You've got
yeah,
to, or you're not going to get past it. Um,
absolutely.
so for you, obviously, advice for me: just try and get some balls in the box, get some big players up in there, and maybe after 70 minutes, 60, 70 minutes, see how he plays, see if he switches it up, and that's obviously when you've got to be aware to sort of make that change if you need to. But if he's going to stick to his system and you're going to stick to yours, it'll be a cracking game. If it's still level, a draw, maybe a few goals, but if it could be 0-0 or 1 each or 2 each or 3 each, who knows? It will
Yeah,
be interesting to see how he gets or how anyone gets on
yeah,
within the last 20 minutes. But I think
absolutely,
anyone's beatable, but you got to be sharp and you got to take your chance. If you don't take your
absolutely.
chance, you're not going to win.
Yeah,
But it'll be a fantastic game, and I think. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he lines up. That's the most important thing. Is he
yeah.
going to adapt to his FC25 sort of style or FIFA 18 way of low block? It'll be interesting to see how it gets on.
Absolutely. And I mean, you've said already with the predictions for Bayern and Everton, you predict a 3-2 win for Everton and
Yeah,
Matt to probably lose this game. And I mean, to be fair, I'd argue a bigger game for Matt than Jake this game because I think, the league's so open. And with you, possibly suggesting Matt could be a relegation contender this season, he needs to pick up these results. I mean, these are the results he needs to pick up on because the results that he's predicted to suffer, I mean, are the ones that he would. I mean, Liverpool strong side, Jordan strong side as a brilliant start,
Jake's
and
Chelsea.
we got so many experienced players. I mean, results against Everton, Newcastle, all these other teams are the points that Matt really needs to be scraping in. I think
Yeah, it would be massive for him to get a win today. No offense to him. I think I haven't really seen much of him on FIFA 25. So it would be interesting to see how he gets on. But obviously, it's going to be a great game. Um, I'll edge Jake just because he's probably played at FC25 longer, and probably a little bit more sharp, a little bit like Colin in that scenario.
absolutely,
With the game last night. But
yeah,
Matt's got a good team, and he can definitely cause some damage with that team. That's why I think there's going to be goals, 3-2, could be more.
absolutely. And I
Um,
mean, Matt's stats in the last season he played at Bayern Munich. I mean, he finished last. He had the most goals conceded in the league. He was the third least goals scored, only behind at the time Mia and Ollie. And of
mhm.
course, you know, I mean, it is a concern, a massive concern. Um,
Yeah,
but I think we're going to see a very different side of Matt this season, is what I personally feel. And the reason being is FC25, I think, opens it up to be a little bit more interesting. And I've played Matt, and I mean, Bayern Munich, fantastic side anyway, brilliant players up front, brilliant play team altogether going forwards. And
it's such a
it's
strong team.
I think tonight's result is going to be very much down to Matt. I think when he
Yeah,
concentrates and he tries, he can win this
he can
game.
be a force. He can be a force to anyone. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and obviously this is the thing with obviously you mentioned that he's conceded, though he's not scored many goals. And sadly, if you don't score goals, you can't win a game of football. So he needs to
Absolutely.
start scoring goals. And also, he's got to keep them out. Obviously, most goals conceded. Obviously, I think I've had a couple of games with him in the past, and they've been quite. Obviously, it's been really good to play against him because it's obviously I've won quite heavily. But you want to have a good fight, and I think hopefully Matt of the season will bring that fight to the pitch, and I think he'll be a really good, interesting player to watch.
Absolutely.
And I think he's got such a good team, but he had a good team in this last FIFA, so it would be interesting to see how he gets on. But I think tactically, if he's more aware of what to do, and he knows how to utilize his team to win a game, then I think he's gonna be a force. And like I know I'll put him in a relegation contender, but he could easily finish mid table.
Absolutely. And I think,
He's
I
100%
mean,
able to with that team.
on the
100%.
lead up to the main couple of the fixtures for the league. I mean, I've played Matt in a series of friendlies, as you know, and I think the worst result he's had against me so far was 22, and it was a terrible result. But when he concentrates and he really tries, the closest game we've had, and I'd like to think of myself as quite a good player, was only 6-4. A very,
Yeah,
very close game. He's got it in him, I think, to beat a lot of players in this league. He just
yeah,
needs to concentrate and capitalize on big moments. And I think if he has got the ability to do that, he will finish high in this league and probably
yeah,
even survive relegation. It's a really
yeah,
tough one, but I think he could be a
yeah,
top contender if he actually locked in.
yeah. He's an underdog. He's a massive underdog. He's in a false position, I think.
Yeah,
If he really wants to stay like if he's up for the fight, he'll win. He should do with that team. He's got too many good players to sort of not do what he needs to do.
absolutely. Josh, it's been a pleasure. We'll leave it there. But yeah, thank you very much for
That's all
jumping
right.
in
Thank
and
you for having
offering.
me, and I'm looking forward to seeing the games tonight and see how you guys get on.
Absolutely, and we will jump on a pre-match build-up at some point. We've got some big games coming up next week, so perhaps we can look at one then. Thank you very much for joining in, mate. I'll speak to you then.
Right.
Cheerio.
Thank you very much. Cheers.